Hey guys, tonight we're heading to a quiet lake in ancient Greece. The moon is just beginning to rise over the surface of the water, casting silvery shadows across the reeds. Crickets chirp lazily in the brush. And there, on the stone edge of the lake, you see something curious: small, round loaves of bread, perfectly placed in a neat row. No one's around. No picnic blankets. No ducks. Just bread. Waiting, you crouch to get a closer look. The loaves are dry, hardened, maybe flavored with fennel or thyme. They're clearly meant for someone or something, but not for the living. And that's when it hits you. You've stumbled into a ritual older than democracy, older than drama, older than olive oil exports. A rite performed not for celebration, but for peace. Peace with the dead. Welcome to the lakeside offerings of ancient Greece, where people left bread to appease spirits who, quite frankly, were terrible guests. Loud, moody, and extremely prone to haunting. You probably wouldn't survive this era without a basic understanding of ghost diplomacy. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And if you're listening from somewhere far or fascinating, drop your location and local time in the comments. I always love reading them. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The stone under your feet is cool, and as you follow the lake's edge, you begin to notice more signs. Subtle, easy to miss. A bundle of lavender tied with twine. A small, broken mirror. Even a few faint markings etched into rock, long faded but definitely human-made. These are quiet clues that this lake wasn't just a source of water or fishing, it was a place of boundary. To the ancient Greeks, lakes weren't simply pretty features on a landscape. They were thresholds, places where the living and the dead brushed shoulders, or at least, toes. And this idea wasn't confined to one city-state or philosophical school. It was baked, quite literally, into the daily rituals of rural life. Historians still argue whether these lakeside bread offerings were purely symbolic or part of an older, pan-Balkan necromantic tradition. But what's clear is that this wasn't random. Bread was chosen for a reason. It wasn't just about feeding a spirit, it was about grounding it, tethering it gently, preventing it from drifting into the homes and dreams of those still alive. You walk a little further and notice the kind of bread being offered isn't your average dinner loaf. These are round, almost medallion-like, sometimes scored with simple patterns, 3 lines, or a spiral. Some are left whole, others are broken carefully in half. There's a strange reverence in the way they're placed. Not tossed, not offered casually. Set down with purpose, often near boulders or oddly shaped stones considered spirit seats. It's quiet out here, but not empty. The Greeks believed spirits gathered at natural places, groves, springs, lakes, especially those who died without closure. Soldiers who never returned from battle, young people taken by fever, anyone buried improperly. Death, for them, wasn't just an ending, it was a negotiation. You can almost imagine a villager from 2,500 years ago creeping down to this very spot at dusk. Maybe he's just lost his wife, or maybe his goat keeps bleeding at nothing, and he's hoping a humble offering will convince the restless dead to find someone else to annoy. He sets down his loaf, mutters a few words, nothing fancy, just enough, and backs away without turning around. Always without turning around. Why bread, though? Why not fruit, wine, or a nice fish? Bread held symbolic weight in ancient Greek society. It was sacred, tied to Demeter, goddess of grain and the cycles of life and death. Offering bread wasn't just practical, it was deeply metaphorical. It said, here is sustenance, here is peace, here is a boundary I will not cross, please don't cross it either. And don't think these ghosts were all malicious. Some were just confused. The Greek word for ghost, eidolon, carries a sense of faded image or echo. Many spirits simply didn't know they were dead, or hadn't accepted it. Bread helped remind them, in the softest possible way, you're on that side now, friend. Please enjoy this snack and stay there. Of course, there were always skeptics. Not everyone in ancient Greece believed in spirits, or at least, not the loud kind. Philosophers in Athens debated whether what people called ghosts were really just dreams, psychological disturbances, or swamp gases. Yes, even back then, someone was trying to ruin the mood with science. But if you were from a rural village near a body of water, like this one, you probably weren't interested in Plato's theories about the immortal soul. You were more interested in keeping your house ghost-free, your crops healthy, and your dreams unbothered. And if that meant baking a few extra loaves for the lake every week, so be it. There's a particular smell to this place: faint charcoal, crushed herbs, the distant sweetness of fermenting grain. These weren't just passive offerings. Sometimes, villagers burned a piece of the bread alongside incense, hoping the rising smoke would carry the spirit's hunger with it. Or at least distract it with a pleasant aroma. You step onto a flat stone platform near the reeds, clearly shaped by human hands. This was likely a place of frequent offerings, maybe even simple ceremonies. No grand temples here. Just an open sky, a still lake, and a shared belief that what you couldn't see still deserved respect, quieter than prayer. Simpler than ritual. Just a piece of bread, and an understanding, not all things stay buried. Some float. Some linger. And some, if left unfed, might start knocking.